What's going on, YouTube? It's your good man, Tone Space. We're going to talk about Taxstone real quick, the podcaster that has been now charged officially with murder. For all you good hip-hop fans, please do me the good favor and hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, get the notifications, all of that. Yo, if you do that, that'll be a good look. I'll be like, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, if you're not interested in this, or you may have seen 8 videos on this already, you just hate hip-hop, you could even hit the thumbs down, whichever you want to do. But we're going to rap about this real quick. Taxstone is a cat from Brooklyn. He was doing the podcast thing. I was actually very intrigued with his podcast work. I thought he was very entertaining. He has a very enigmatic personality, but he's very genuine, very hood at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So let me just read to you what's really going down with this situation. A hip-hop podcaster has been charged with murder in connection with a fatal shooting at a popular Manhattan concert. That concert is Irving Plaza. Before a venue at a T.I. performance. Daryl Campbell pleaded not guilty Thursday in New York State Supreme Court. His lawyer, Kenneth Montgomery, says they are going to fight the charges. The May 2016 shooting at Irving Plaza happened just before T.I. was to perform. A bodyguard of rapper Roland Collins, who performs as Troy Ave, was killed in the shooting. 3 other people, including Collins, were wounded. Now, this gentleman is Troy Ave. The gentleman on the other side, that's Taxstone. Campbell is known professionally as Taxstone. Authorities say he has been feuding with Collins, and we're going to talk about that feud a little bit. Last month, Campbell pleaded guilty in federal court to gun charges, admitting illegally possessing a firearm from another state. Authorities say that gun was used to kill the bodyguard, Ronald McFadden. All right, now, let's talk about it. The beef between Troy Ave and Taxstone. As far as I understand from following the story, they've had like a big Twitter back and forth, you know, where you type 100 and something characters. This actually legitimately started from Twitter text characters, and I feel almost heartbroken to say that or whatever, right? As I understand, Taxstone, who's a podcaster, he does his thing, he critiques hip-hop. So he's an authority on critiquing hip-hop because that's his job. So I guess he had some choice words to say about Troy Ave, most notably just saying like, yo, dude, your shit is trash. Like, he would shit on Troy Ave a lot on the music or whatever. And I guess Troy Ave felt a way about that, and they had a back and forth thing. And it was all these, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you, stuff like that. Now, the thing about this is the dangerous part of this social media thing. Social media is a wonderful promotional tool. It's a wonderful way to express yourself, just like I'm doing now. Just like that last video you watched before watching mine. Just like the next video that you're going to watch. Might be another one of mine. But social media is a great place for people to just express themselves. You know what I'm saying? However, the dangerous aspect of social media is that you get to express yourself, and when you have an issue with someone, you have all the free room to say anything you want about that person. You could shit on them up and down. You could just like really go in and really berate another person, but without having to worry about an immediate retaliation, because that person's not in front of your face. It's like punching a wall. The wall's not going to punch back. This ain't a shot at nobody. Alright? The wall's not going to punch back. So you could like hammer the shit out of that wall all you want without worrying about an immediate hit back from the wall. That's what social media is. And I liken it to WWE or old school WWF wrestling promos. You know, you got Hogan there talking that shit. Well, Macho Man, you see, you fucked up on... Well, they didn't say fuck up like that. You see, Macho Man, when it was you and Elizabeth trying to really get in the way of my relationship with her brother, because I'm the one that had these 10 inches pussy deep inside. Well, cut that out, Gene. We can't say pussy on it. Had my dick 10 inches deep in her pussy. Ooh, yeah, Hogan, you think that you fucked my wife? That's what they were doing. They were basically doing the same thing that social media allows us to do today, and that's cut a promo. You could cut promos on motherfuckers, and it's fun, it's engaging. And then when you're good at it, or when you get a crowd following or an audience, now you got people amping you on. You got trolls amping you on. Oh, this one said that about you. You're gonna let them say that? You're gonna let them get in your ass like that? So then what you do, you cut another promo. Whoa, Troy Ave, if I really see you out there on the streets, brother, it's gonna be trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. Everyone can cut a WWE wrestling promo right now. And that can be fun, it can be engaging, it could be great, but it also can be very dangerous. For example, let's go back in time a little bit, before the days of YouTube, or before the days of Twitter, Facebook, before the days of social media. When you had an issue with somebody, I'll even say personal things of my own. When I was out doing whatever the fuck I was doing to get my money, and someone may have been in my particular space, and I may have had to approach said person in my space to get them the fuck up out of my space. I had to go up on that person and have a conversation, right? And that person's right there. So whatever I say to this person can retort something back at me, and back and forth and whatever. The point I'm making is, a lot of beef gets diffused because he knows that whatever he says right now to me, I can immediately retaliate. I know whatever I say to this man right here, he can immediately retaliate. So I noticed a lot of actual beefs tended to be a lot more tame and tended to be resolved because there was a sense of diffusion once those two people met, because you had to meet each other to really express your grievances with them. You know what I'm saying? So since everyone's in each other's face, it diffused a lot of that shit that goes on in social media. There wasn't the whole crowd or trolls amping you up like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't the whole freedom of you just getting in the motherfucker's ass as much as you want without that person being able to do something, until you hit post, and then you wait for him to talk his stupid shit back to you. Before we had this, there was none of that. Imagine a Taxstone, Troy Ave situation. They have a beef, and the only option they had, they didn't have the Twitter fingers. Not to say neither of them are real folks or whatever, because obviously somebody is keeping a bit too real in this situation, but I digress. Troy Ave, Taxstone. Imagine there was no Twitter. Imagine there was no Facebook. There's no YouTube. You might be able to, send a song at him or whatever, and I guess Taxstone in the podcast business, he may be able to say something. But once this one says that one says that, if they would have met at Irving Plaza, minus all the social media hyping up and all that other shit, it might have went down a whole lot differently. You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't have been propped up with both sides cutting promos. They wouldn't have been cutting so many WWE promos on each other, because they wouldn't have had that outlet to do so. And they would have met, and it might not have went down. It might not have went straight to the blickery, brang, on site. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, I look actually disturbed about this, because I actually am, man, because I thought Taxstone, man, I thought he was a very good at what he did, man. I admired it, you know what I'm saying? I looked up to it. I was like, wow, this is dope, you know what I'm saying? So, and right now he's who knows what type of numbers he's gonna do, 2 digits or more, maybe life, who knows? I mean, best of luck to everyone involved. The family of the bodyguard that got killed and everything, much support to all these people and everything. But I just wanted to touch on this, the dangers of what this social media thing is. You know what I'm saying? That's like even me, a couple little spats I had with folk. I try to stay conscious. I try to stay conscious of the fact that, alright, if I'm going to say something about this brother or this person, let me try as much as I possibly can to say nothing more extra than what I would say if this person were right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be I try to approach things with diplomacy. I try not to take advantage of the fact that I have the free space to cut the craziest promo I want and really like dog somebody out, because I feel like, look, if I'm not gonna do that when they right in front of me, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this social media, that's the dangers of it. Even let's take this whole pro-black thing. All right, Because another thing, a lot of times people get in their egos on social media, and it tarnishes what they're trying to do. Like I could easily rock the whole pro-black thing, and now not to say that I'm not for black empowerment and things of that caliber, but I just see a lot of phoniness. Perfect example: Umar Johnson and General Sarasut and Seti, when they had their thing going on. 1 minute Umar is talking about saving the African boys in the tunnel from the school system to the prison system, and really trying to help mothers out and make things happen. Next thing you know, due to cutting promos on each other by way of General Sarasut and Seti and Umar Johnson, next thing you know, he's contorting his face, making all type of devil faces. You'll never be 6'3", nigga. And he's just totally on some other shit, looking like Alpo or something, like somebody owes him money or some shit. I'm like, what is this? He ended up getting hit in his ego, and it all rooted from this social media thing. And even when he was in his ego, said he wasn't in front of him when he was talking all that shit. He had the free reign of Facebook Live or whatever medium he was using to do that shit. And you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. This shit is it takes a lot of people off their track and knocks them off their square. Another quick story, and then I'm a boogie. Philando Castile, when the night I found out about that situation, a young lady called me up to let me know about it. I guess she had just seen the video of him killed in his car, and she was crying. I mean, she was really, it really hit her. And she was driving home. I'm like, yo, babe, just chill, get home safe. Try to put it out your mind. Don't worry. Pay attention to the road, all that stuff. Because, I mean, she was really going through it. She just saw the thing. It was terrible. And then I saw it, and, I mean, for the next few days, I had to shoot videos the next day. I was in a stump and just down the whole time during that situation, as a lot of people were or whatever, right? So, now this woman, she does videos of a pro-black or a black empowerment ilk, and she's considerably known in that array of selection of folk, right? And I think she's very sincere. I think she's very genuine in how she gets down with it or whatever, right? Now let's fast forward to recently, about a month ago or something, when the asshole, the Spanish dude that shot Philando Castile in the car, the day that he got away with murder, when he was found not guilty or whatever the fuck, right? I would think that this particular young lady would have been, boom, like irate about that and immediately done a video on it, whatever. And I was looking out for that, and I did not see that. It's a reason, because this young lady, due to cutting promos and social media, she had a little back and forth diatribe situation going on with some other lady, some white girl or whatever, about micro braids or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So she was caught up in that little argument. Meanwhile, this dude just got found not guilty. You know what I'm saying? So she was taken off her square by that. And I'm like, if this can happen to her, and I think she's a very genuine woman in what she does, because like I said, when the night dude got killed, she was like bawling. So I know she's not, full of shit or whatever, but she was able to be taken off her square for that space of time, due to the wonderful world of social media, due to the wonderful ability for everyone to cut a promo on each other. So I guess what I say to that is, to everybody that's of that pro-black ilk or whatever type of shit you want to talk about, don't get too engrossed in arguments and spats and spouts or whatever the fuck you call it with other people. Stay on your square. Stay on your deem, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your bag. Whatever your preferred slang is for it, right? And definitely always do consider, if you're cutting a promo on a motherfucker that you actually beefing with or whatever, consider, would you cut this same promo if that person was in your face? And if not, then recognize or ask yourself, are you keeping it as real and as authentic with yourself as you should be? Alright? So, that's about all I'm going to say. I'm going to close this out with a silly dance for no reason at all. Now, let me stop. Alright, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, though. Oh, no.